Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Andy, and today we have the end of the month reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. Welcome guys, I hope you guys are doing really good today. So this is going to be aimed specifically for January 20th through the 31st. That being said, if you happen to watch this outside of that time frame, I do still think that there could be a message here that could resonate with you, so feel free to watch regardless. Make sure to check out your other placements as well, and remember that these are general readings, so some of it will resonate with you, some of it may not resonate with you, the whole thing will, none of it will. It all just depends on what exactly you're looking for and what you are meant to hear at this time. Spirit will always make it a point to make sure that you only end up listening to messages that you need. So anything, I truly believe in my belief system that anything you happen to listen to is something that you need to listen to. That is what I believe. Whether that's what you believe or not, again, same thing. Like I said, if it resonates, take it. If not, do not take it. All right, so we're gonna jump into Virgo for January 20th through the 31st. What is Virgo dealing with? January through the 31st, what is the overall energy that January 20th through the 31st carries for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements? I also highly recommend that you guys check out your other placements as well, just to get a better idea. Wow, you know what is so funny? This card came out in your pre-shuffle, so when I was getting things ready, this card came out, the Five of Wands. It came out in the upright, okay? Five of Wands came out, and I put it back on the deck, and I said, and it was right when I was starting reading, and I literally said, I'm not gonna take it, and if it's meant to be, it'll come out again. That is crazy. Five of Wands in reverse. So this is the overall energy encompassing your reading, so encompassing the majority of what your experience is going to be from the 20th through the 31st. It's talking about conflict, but coming out of conflict specifically. So Virgo, what was your reading for this month? Oh, you meeting that soulmate. Okay, you meeting that soulmate. All right. So I think this is going to be talking about something a little bit different. This could be, so it is going to be internal and external conflict. So there could have been a lot of conflict about this soulmate, about needing this person, about thinking that this is a soulmate, about being in this connection. There could have been, you could have a lot of conflicting feelings or thoughts about this or towards this person or towards this situation. This could be what it's about. I feel like it's not about the same thing though. I feel like earlier, yes, your monthly reading was primarily about a soulmate, about you meeting a soulmate. But I think this is actually talking about something else. I think the focus is somewhere else. So let's specify this. So Five of Wands in reverse, what is this referring to? Give me some more information. Thank you. Two of Swords in reverse, okay. So there could be something, yeah, there could be a lot of internal conflict that there was, you know, an inability to make a decision about something. There really could have just been like, it could not even have just been, not just an inability to make a decision, just an inability to see the truth in a situation. Maybe you were denying something, so maybe it was just a denial of you finally meeting someone that you really vibe with, that you really connect with, and you just telling yourself that you didn't need them because of maybe things that have happened in the past. Maybe you've been hurt in relationships in the past, and you're just kind of over relationships, or maybe you're just, because I think in your January reading, even though you were encountering a soulmate, I think that there was like a walking away from a past situation, so maybe you're just, it's too soon, it's too fresh. Also giving us a little bit more information is the Empress in reverse, is this Taurus energy coming through, but also just a lack of, well, hold on, we'll get into your reading in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself, I'm getting so ahead of myself. All right, and then outcome or hope for the future, what's gonna come out of this moving forward? What is gonna come out of this moving forward? January 20th through the 31st, after this is said and done, what's coming out of this moving forward? What is that? Ace of Wands in reverse, okay. So you got a lot of reversals today, Ace of Wands in reverse. All right, so let's talk about it. So like I said, your crowning overall energy is the Five of Wands in reverse, which is referring to coming out of conflict. I feel like the conflict that you'll be coming out of with the Two of Swords in reverse, specifically for you, Virgo, this conflict has a lot to do with making a decision about something. So there's something that you kind of knew. It's almost like, I feel like you guys know what you're supposed to do. You know what the right decision is to do. You know what you need to cut out. You know what you need to keep. It's like, I feel like you guys know the answer of what action you need to be taking. But there is like, almost like, I honestly want to say, I feel like you guys are maybe lying to yourselves. Like you're telling yourselves, oh, I don't need this, or I don't need to do this, or blah, blah, but you know you need to. It's just you're telling yourself you don't so that you don't do it, because there's something I feel that you're avoiding to do. there is a lot of mind versus heart conflict. I feel like that's primarily what the end of January is for you, is that like what your heart wants is different from what you're telling yourself that you want. Does that make sense? It's like you're trying to tell yourself that you don't want certain things, or that you do want this, but you really don't want it. But it's like your heart knows what it wants. Your heart always knows what it wants because you'll feel attracted, or you'll feel the longing, or you'll feel that pull towards that person, towards that career, towards that path. You'll always feel that pull in your heart first before you realize that's what you want. So then with the Empress in reverse, so what this is telling me specifically is that this has a lot to do, yes, this decision has a lot to do with yourself. And it has to do with the situation that whatever it is that you're doing or not doing, it's something that is a decision based around something that makes you feel good. Maybe dating this person makes you feel good. Maybe being around this energy makes you feel good. Maybe being in this job, in this place, doing this thing, maybe it makes you feel good, but you're scared of, I feel like I'm getting a sense of like you're scared of not being independent, because the Empress is a very independent energy. I feel like you guys are afraid of falling into like depending on someone else. I feel like there's a big fear, like you don't want to have to, because I think that there was a situation in the past, Virgo, and I might be wrong, but I'm picking up on that there was a situation in the past that you got hurt from, and it was because you depended on / like you got really attached to someone or something, and you ended up getting your feelings hurt, and you hate that. You hate that happened. You hate that you fell into that dependency on someone else or an external energy outside of you, because you like to be independent and you like to do things on your own. So because that happened, it kind of has you feeling like you don't want to open that door again. You don't want to follow your heart anymore, because it got you hurt last time that you did it. But remember that you can't base your future actions based off of situations that happened in the past, especially because a lot of the things that we've experienced up until now, up until we're transitioning into the age of Aquarius, not just the season, but the age of Aquarius, has to do with we've been making decisions not necessarily 100% out of integrity and out of our authentic selves. And at this time, we're having these realizations that there were things in the past that didn't work out. There were things in the past that hurt us because they needed to hurt us in order for us to not be closed off to future possibilities, but to have the realization that we need to make sure that we're always acting out of our authentic true self, that we're always acting out of what our heart's desires are, and that's what we're making actions based out of. That's what we're moving forward with, leading with our heart, not with our mind, leading with our feelings, what we feel is right for us, what we feel is good for us, not just what we think or what we think we should or should not do. Because our thoughts tend to get confused with our feelings a lot of the time, and your heart will always know where it wants to be, even if your mind does not, because your heart will tell you. You just gotta tune in and listen. With the Ace of Wands in reverse as what we're going towards, or what you're moving towards, and this is going to be towards the end of the month, so this is going to be more towards the 31st / transitioning into February and moving on past this situation. I feel like, honestly, this tells me that I feel like you're not going to be taking any action anytime soon, Virgo. I feel like you're going to be really conflicted about this. You're going to be really back and forth with yourself about what you should and shouldn't do. I feel like there's a lot of fear, again, with falling into a dependent state, whether it's to another person or a situation. You just don't want to be dependent on anyone or thing right now. And I feel like you guys are really shutting off and closing down. But remember what I said, the universe is giving you a lesson, and it's not that you need to be closed off. It's that you need to be able to better discern what is right for you and what is wrong for you by paying attention to what your heart says versus what your mind is telling you. I feel like, Virgo, if you're watching this, there's a huge, your ego, for you guys specifically, if you're watching this right now, your ego is your biggest enemy. I would definitely say that almost everyone's ego is their biggest enemy, but for you guys, your ego is very strong. You have nurtured and fed your ego your entire life. Your ego, whether you have personally done it or other people have fed your ego was fed and it grew up very strong and powerful. So you have a very strong ego, and it's going to be very difficult for you to break through and to overcome that barrier that is the ego, and to break that illusion that you don't need to depend on anyone, that you can be open, you can have connections, and you can invest feelings into any one other thing, and none of that will hurt you. You will only hurt yourself. It's not anyone's fault. It's not what they've done to you. It's not personal. Nothing that anyone does is personal, and that is one of the biggest illusions of the ego. The ego wants you to believe that when bad things happen to you, it's because other people have the intention that they want to hurt you, that they want to do this, that it's about you. And it's not. It's not about you. It's never about you. It's always any action that anyone does, it's always based on them. It's based on who and what they see themselves as, what kind of person they see themselves as. That's how they'll be acting. If you see yourself as a liar, you will lie. If you see yourself as a cheater, you will cheat. If you see yourself as someone that's not worth loving, you will be unable to love. So it's all based on how people are perceiving and seeing themselves, which is why at this point where we're transitioning into the age of Aquarius, right? So not just the season, we are shifting into the season, but because we are shifting into the age of Aquarius, what this is triggering for a lot of people is to realize that they need to act more authentically, that they need to be more genuine and authentic and real about who they are, what kind of person they are, what kind of person they want to be, and who they truly are, the core, what do they value. It's all about your values, about what you value, what you do not value, what you respect, what you don't respect, and acting with that integrity and that knowledge of what it is that you do and do not want out of life moving forward. So Virgo, we're going to tap into what the lesson of January was for you. So now that we're at the end of your month, this is usually the month when everyone's doing their little bit of recap, going over the month, what you experienced, what you feel like you could have done more of. So primarily, we're going to focus on the lesson. So what is the lesson that Virgo is being presented with right now, January 20th through the 31st? What is the opportunity that they have to learn a lesson in what? What is the lesson to learn here for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements? What is the lesson for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, January 20th through 31st? What is the lesson to be learned here? Okay, we have two cards. I'm gonna take one, but I'm just mentioning the other one briefly. So we have Sacral Chakra and Stand Your Ground. We have the number 2, 7. The number 2, 7, 27, or 9 could all be very significant for you, the 20th through the 31st. So I feel like the Sacral Chakra, that's really just talking about your confidence, okay? So a lot of that has to do with our confidence. A lot of that has to do with guilt as well. So I feel like there could be some issues regarding with guilt or your confidence. I know your solar plexus has a lot to do with confidence as well, but I do see that in the sacral as well, because I do think that a lot of that is a little bit more grounded and a little bit more realistic in terms of what our abilities or capabilities are, and I do think that reflects heavily within our confidence. But like I said, a lot of that has to do with guilt as well. So there could be a lot of guilt that you're harboring of things that you have not done enough of, things that you need to do more of. That's what could be creating a lot of conflict. That's what could be creating a lot of this internal energy within yourself, which is fighting between your heart and your mind, because there are things that you're guilty of having not done, or having done too much of, or having etc., if that makes sense. So we have Stand Your Ground, which is the 7 of Wands. So the lesson that you need to learn is that you need to stop allowing people to disrespect you. Like I said, I'm really pulling up on this energy of this past situation that you were really hurt by because you felt dependent on. I feel almost, for some reason, something is telling me that it's like you entered like a relationship with someone or some type of a dynamic in a situation where you just gave everything. You gave them all your love, you gave them all your attention, you gave them all your money for some of you, you gave them all your time, energy, attention. You gave a lot of your energy, time, and attention into someone or something. And I feel like that's what hurt you, because I feel like the other person was a taker and you were very generous. You were a very generous giver, and I feel like you gave and you gave and you gave, and they took and they sucked you dry. And that's why you're the Empress in reverse now. That's why you feel drained. That's why you feel not very confident. That's why you feel a little bit hurt. That's why you feel vulnerable, exposed. You feel like there's a lot of conflict in between you because you don't know whether you should follow your heart and your or your brain, or like you're conflicted as to what to listen to, because I feel like in that situation you listened to your feelings, but you didn't take into consideration what was actually going on in the situation, and you didn't stand your ground. I feel like this situation tested you a lot, like tested your patience, tested your boundaries. It tested a lot of things of you. And instead of you, Virgo, don't take this to heart, but instead of you standing your ground and saying, no, I'm not going to accept this. No, I'm not going to put up with this. No, no, no. You were like, okay, it's fine. You were giving and giving because you really had emotions or feelings and you were really invested. You felt really attached. Like I said, you fell into a form of negative attachment to this person, place, or thing. The lesson for you to learn here coming out of the situation, because I feel like that is past energy, you're moving on from that, you're coming out of it. The lesson to learn is that you need to stand your ground. You need to stand, like what you say is what you mean. You know, this is my boundary, this is my barrier, this is the limit, and no one is gonna push me past it. And you need to make sure that the only person that's gonna enforce this is you. So you have to make sure that you're enforcing this. You have to make sure that when people are trying to test you, you're trying to cross your boundary, walking the fine line right on the border, you gotta make sure that you're putting your foot down. You gotta make sure that it's known who the boss is in your life, because you control your life. You are the own boss of your life, and you need to make sure that it's known to the people that are interacting with you, okay? All right, so to close your reading, we're gonna get a message from the angels that guide, watch over, and protect you. So for the angels that guide, watch over, and protect Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what do you want Virgo to know at this time? For January 20th through the 31st, what does Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus need to know from the angels that guide, watch over, and protect Virgo? What is the message for Virgo from the angels? What is the message for Virgo from the angels? What is the message for Virgo from the angels? I'm getting something to do with forgiveness. Like you need to forgive yourself, you need to forgive the situation, you need to forgive the other person and just move on. You need to forgive and move on, I'm getting. But let's see what they say. What is the message for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus from the angels? All right, so we gotta listen. Quiet your mind, beloved one, and listen to our gentle reassurance that everything has been taken care of. Stay in a quiet and receptive state without worrying about the exact nature of your desire's manifestation. A quiet mind and body hears us quickly and clearly. This is our request to you. Listen. I'm also getting that someone could be trying to apologize to you, or you're trying to apologize to someone, and whoever is trying to do the apologizing, the other person on the other half needs to make sure that they're really listening. So if someone's trying to apologize to you, really, really listen to exactly what they're saying. Don't just get mad that they're coming back and blah, blah, blah. Really listen to what they're saying. Also, that could be a red flag. Just because someone apologizes to you does not mean that you have to forgive them. It does not mean that you have to forgive them and take them back. You could just forgive them, say thank you for apologizing, I appreciate it, I forgive you, I'm moving on, I hope you move on too. Just because someone is sorry does not mean that you have to take them back. So really, really listen if someone is apologizing to you, or again, if you're, just having any type of conversation. I feel like you might be having a conversation with someone from the past. It could be this person in the past that hurt you. I feel like you're gonna be having some types of conversations or deep emotional conversations towards the end of the month. And I just wanna make sure that you're really paying attention and really listening word for word, and really listen to not just the words, but what the intention is behind the words. That's what you need to watch out for and really pay attention to. Your angels want you to know also that they're there to help you, but again, the way that the universal law works is that they cannot help you, they can't guide you, they can't give you assistance unless you ask. So your angels, they're waiting there. They're just like, are you gonna ask for help? Like, it looks like you need help, ask for it. So pray, meditate, chant, whatever it is that you do or need to do, ask, call them, I need help with this, please, my angels, assist me, lift me, relieve me on this stress, relieve me on this internal conflict, I need help, I need assistance. You need to ask for it, because they can't interact with us energetically until you ask. Excuse me. All right, Virgo, that was your reading. So if it resonated with you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more. I really, really appreciate the support. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can email me, and my email is going to be down below in the description box. We can talk about rates and how I work. I offer my sessions one-on-one, and that's either going to be live over Skype or Zoom, as well as a pre-recorded option that gets sent to you via a private link that only you and I have access to. Both versions, or both options, I should say, are the same price. It just depends on what works better with your schedule and my schedule. So email me if you're interested in a personal reading. If not, I wish you guys the best of luck. again, ask for the assistance and the guidance, because I honestly feel like your energy, there was no hangman, there wasn't really a lot of stuck energy other than the Two of Swords in reverse and the Empress, but I feel like you guys are really stuck and stagnant where you are. You're unable to move in any direction because of all the conflict that's going on, and there's just major lack of action in your life right now. So things need to move, Virgo. I know you're a slow and precise sign that likes to plan and likes to be meticulous about the details, but you gotta move, because I feel like you've been in this energy for a while, okay? Especially for you Virgos that may have met like the new soulmate, your right soulmate for you. If you did meet a soulmate this month in January, or maybe you're meeting them towards the end of the month, I still really feel that, because I remember your reading was bomb for January, and you're really meeting like a perfect soulmate. Remember, if you've met this person, you're not going to be able to move on with this person. You're not going to be able to move forward with this person if you're still hung up on this past situation. So you got to make sure you're cutting ties with your baggage, because you can't take it forward into where you're going. I hope that this resonated with you, and I hope it helped you with any way, shape, or form. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.